Hello, welcome back to Reading with Mo, and welcome to a very large book unhauling. I have too many books. I have a problem. I have like almost 600 books that I'm owning currently right now in my book collection, and I need to get my collection down ASAP. So today is the first of many, hopefully, book unhaulings. This was very difficult to pull this many books from my shelves to get rid of. It was low-key very painful, and I did not video or document it because it was just random times throughout the days that I would just do this, and it was a very difficult process, and it would have been one that would be very difficult to have figured out how to film. But I'm going to show you guys what books I'm getting rid of. So I believe there are roughly 125 books I'm about to show you guys, which I'm very honestly proud of myself for being able to do this. It was very difficult for me. I know that's not for a lot of people something that's very difficult, but for me, my book collection is like one of my prized possessions, but it's also something I don't want to be carrying around with me, at least in such a large quantity over the next few years. So I need to get my book collection down. I have kind of tried to organize them in a way that makes sense. We'll have books that I have read. Basically everything's kind of categorized into either books I've read and I don't think I'm going to reread again in the future or anytime soon, and books that I have read, and then books that I haven't read that I no longer have any desire to, or I've attempted to read and for one reason or another I just don't feel like continuing on. I also have a lot of special editions or collector's editions of books that I will be letting go of, because I feel like there was a time in my life where every time I seen a new beautiful book collection or edition of something, I felt like I had to own it. I had to own the complete collection, or at least a few in every collection that I really liked. But I have since gotten calmer and more controlled in my spending of money on books, and I don't do that anymore. But some of these are definitely left over from that time when I used to do that, and I would buy the books whether I thought they would be that interesting to me or not. I just wanted the completionist in me needed to have like a whole set, and I've since moved past this wrong way of thinking, and now I am going to let some of these go because I know I just realistically am not going to be getting to them anytime soon. I think starting out I had around 300 books unread on my TBR, and it would take me at least another 3 to 5 years to read every single book on my shelves realistically, and I know by the time I got around to some of these I would just no longer be interested in them, so I'm decided to just let them go now. But if you want to see what else I'm doing to kind of help whittle down this huge book collection that I currently own, keep on the lookout. The vlog will be coming soon of my project of trying to get my book collection smaller. But really though, I feel like I'm giving away all my books. I'm getting rid of them all. And while that's kind of scary, it also feels nice too. So these aren't going to be in any particular order. I am just going to grab each stack as I can. So the first is we have these Penguin drop cap collection. I'm getting rid of, I think I have like one maybe I left on my shelves. I never owned the whole collection, all the alphabet of this, because that would be quite a lot of books. I probably thought about it though at one time or another, I can guarantee you. The only one I read is Lord of the Flies by William Golding. Don't think I'm going to read this again anytime soon. The other ones were Q, the Greek Coffin Mystery. This is by Ellery Queen. We have My Antonia by Willa Cather. And then we have An Artist of the Floating World by Kazuo Ishiguro. This is the one I was most thought I would get to, and with most of these I kind of read like the first paragraph or maybe even the first sentence just to see if like I felt that last second tug to keep them in my book collection and try to read them, which that did happen with some books, and that's why they're on this little shelf behind me that I'm going to attempt to be reading over the next 6 months. But if I didn't get that feeling from like the first sentence, then I just had to be really ruthless and let things go. The next collection we have are my vintage Red Spine collection here. And same, I do have a couple I think on my shelf still, and one I'm still going to try and get to, but I have read a few of these. I think I read like some of the H.G. Wells ones. The Invisible Man, The Island of Dr. Moreau, War of the Worlds. I think those are the only three of these that I have read. The other ones I have not. So we have another H.G. Wells one, The Time Machine, The Collector by John Fowles. Also by John Fowles, The French Lieutenant's Woman. Then we have All Passion Spent by Vita Sackville-West. Absalom Absalom by William Faulkner. And then lastly, Lost Horizon by James Hilton. Most of these books I got extremely cheap. I got them either at half-price books or I got them from Book Outlet. And that was definitely a reason why I own so many books, because I do buy a lot of them heavily discounted. I guess we might as well just keep the book collection theme going. And next we have some books that are in my Penguin English Library paperback edition. I've read of these, The Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. These three I did not get to. A Handful of Dust by Evelyn Waugh, The Call of the Wild by Jack London, and The Day of the Locust by Nathaniel West. The next book collection we have are the Picador 40th Anniversary books. These ones, I've read just one of these. I think one of them I actually owned another copy of, so that's why I got rid of it. We have The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. I did read this one. I just don't think I'm going to reread it again anytime soon. The rest of these, I tried like the first page or two and didn't really care to keep going. So we have Last Orders by Graham Swift, Mother's Milk by Edward St. Aubyn, The Sea by John Banville, All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy, Dirt Music by Tim Winton, and then The Savage Detectives by Robert Bolaño. I think I just kept one book from this collection on my shelves currently. I want to try and get to, and that one is American Psycho. This next stack of books are all books I attempted to read and never finished. So first up we have a comic, which is Sailor Moon, The Eternal Volume #1. We have a historical fiction, The Sun and Splendor by Sharon K. Penman, The Shadow King by Maza Mongise, The Blueprint by Ray Gianna Rashad, The Big Payback, The History of Business of Hip Hop by Dan Charnas, Beauty is a Wound by Ika Kurniawan, The Georgians by Penelope J. Corfield, and then A People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn. All of these I attempted to read and for one reason or another put down and have no desire to pick back up, or I've tried multiple times to read some of these and they just never clicked with me. I decided to let go of this collection of the first three books in the Little House on the Prairie series by Laura Wilder, I think it was. I forget the author's name on these. But these books were very nostalgic for me when I was a kid, but these aren't the editions that I owned when I was a kid, so I don't really have a strong attachment to keeping them. And then we have another book collection. These are the Harper Olive Perennial editions, I think I'm saying right. I've gotten rid of most of these over the years, and this is like the last ones that I own. I think I've read like 2 of these ones. This series, specifically with the red and black spines, were all books that are like supposed to be mysteries, I think. And a lot of them were books that were part of a series. So some of them were even the start of a series. So the completionist in me can't just start a series like on book like 3, 4, 5. I gotta start from the beginning. So I did read, I think 1 or 2 of them. I wasn't hugely like impressed or blown away, so I decided to let these go. I think I kept maybe like 1 that sounded interesting to me still on my shelves. So we have Anthony Horowitz Moriarty, which I have another book I'm unhauling of his that I didn't even realize I owned this one, which was part of the series. I read the first one and I don't want to continue on. We have Elizabeth George's Careless in Red. I did read this one, Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift. Just not interested in reading it again. The Mapping of Love and Death by Jacqueline Winspear. Gaudy Night by Dorothy L. Sayers. The Blessing Way by Tony Hillerman. And then lastly, by Jonas Boe, we have The Red Breast. The next stack of books I want to share with you guys are all books that I have not read and I have no desire to read anymore, at least currently. If I ever do, I can always rebuy the book again, get it from my library. It's not like it's permanently gone from my life. So first up we have Travels with Charlie in Search of America by John Steinbeck, Little Reunions by Eileen Chang, The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy, Dream Sequence by Adam Folds, Molokai and Daughter of Molokai by Alan Brenner. I actually read the first one, but a long time ago. I decided I wanted to read the sequel, so I repurchased the first one so I could read the sequel. And now I don't feel like rereading the first one to be able to go on with the second one, so I decided to just let him go. Confessions of a Sociopath by M.E. Thomas, The Magnolia Palace by Fiona Davis, The Village Idiot by Steve Stern, Prozac Nation by Elizabeth Wurtzel, A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce, Grimm's Fairy Tales, selected stories illustrated by Yann Legendre, The Cheneysville Incident by David Bradley, We Wish to Inform You That Tomorrow We Will Be Killed with Our Families, stories from Rwanda by Philip Gorovich, Lucky Purr by Henrik Pontoppidan, and then lastly in this category we have The Coin by Yasmin Zaher. Okay, let's go back into some book editions. So I discovered McSweeney's, which is like a literary quarterly publication a couple of years ago, and my local used bookstore happens to keep a lot of them in stock. I kind of went crazy collecting them and realized that I just don't really think I'm gonna read them, so I'm letting them go. So I really love the design. These are really well designed books. I just don't think I'm gonna get to them anytime soon. So we have issue number 20, McSweeney's number 50. This one's number 44. This one's probably the prettiest one. This one is edition number 31. And then this one was really cool too, edition number 24, because it was like kind of like a reverse. There's two sides to this book. And then I'm getting rid of a couple of books in the Penguin Classics, like the orange spine editions, that I just don't think I'm going to read. I tried and they didn't sound that interesting to me. So we have Snow Leopard by Peter Matheson and Ceremony by Leslie Marmon Silko. I'm letting go of a few of my Folio Society editions. This one was just sent to me for free when I put in an order in this winter, a folio anthology. We have Joseph Conrad, The Duel and Other Tales. And we have this one here is by Herman Melville. This is the complete shorter fiction. And then I'm getting rid of this edition of Alice in Wonderland, even though it's really pretty. I didn't enjoy Alice in Wonderland as a classic, children's classic, as much as I thought I would, so I don't see myself rereading this anytime soon, which is why I'm also unhauling the edition I have of it in the Penguin Clothbound Classics. This one has Alice Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. I'm getting rid of a couple of my other clothbound classics from Penguin as well that are just kind of like not in the greatest condition. So we have Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy. And then I just don't think I'm ever going to get to reading this one, which is Paradise Lost by John Milton. And same with this one as well, Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. Lastly, onto the biggest pile of books that, and the last pile of books I want to share with you guys. And these are all books that I've read that, while I may have really enjoyed them, I don't see myself rereading them anytime soon. They're not like my favorites of all time. And I just had to be ruthless, okay? So some of these books are good. I just can't keep them on my shelves. I've read all of these. Many of these I would recommend. Some of them I wouldn't. But these are them. So first off, we have two books by George Orwell. We have 1984 and Animal Farm. Salt Slow by Julia Armfield. Dominicana by Angie Cruz. The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I actually have a bind up of all of Oscar Wilde's books, so I don't really need this one separately. Miss Ice Sandwich by Miko Kawakami. Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. I really, really love this one and I would recommend to you guys. I listened to an audiobook. I don't feel like I need a physical copy. The Good Earth by Pearl S. Buck. The Girl Who Smiled Beads by Clementine Wamaria and Elizabeth Well. The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. The Word is Murder by Anthony Horowitz. No Presents Please by Jayant Kekini. The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. These two are both by the same author, by Coralie Bickford Smith. We have The Fox and the Star and The Worm and the Bird. These are both very beautiful, but I just they just don't really hold any appeal to me to reread again. The Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo, Girls Burn Brighter by Shobha Rao, Cannery Row by John Steinbeck, If You See Me, Don't Say Hi by Neil Patel, Yellow Wife by Sadiqa Johnson, The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, The Sun Does Shine by Anthony Ray Hinton, Dissolution by C.J. Sansom. This book I really loved, and I like this edition, but I'm planning on buying the whole series in matching editions, like in one go on Amazon, so I'm not going to need 2 copies of the first book. The Islands by Dion Irving, Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson, Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. This is the graphic novel edition. Transcendent Kingdom by Yaa Gyasi, A Black Woman's History of the United States by Dana Ramey Berry and Callie Nicole Gross, Miracle Creek by Angie Kim, The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. This is the graphic novel version. Electra by Jennifer Saint. I actually want all of Jennifer Saint's Greek mythology tellings, but I want them all in the same edition. So I'm going to unhaul this one for now, and sometime in the future I will repurchase this. Written in Blood by Chris Carter. Fury by Alex Michaelides. Citizen by Claudia Rankine. Happiness Falls by Angie Kim. The Jungle Book. This is actually illustrated by Nina Lima. This is by Rudyard Kipling. These are so gorgeous and beautiful, but I just don't see myself really having any other purpose than for them looking nice on the shelf after I read it. Calling Me Home by Julie Kibler. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. The Revolution of Marina M. by Janet Fitch. Love in Color by Bolu Babalola. More Myself by Alicia Keys. Edgar Allan Poe's Stories and Poems, illustrated by David Plunkett. Opposite of Always and Early Departures, both by Justin A. Reynolds. I love these books so much. I think they're so cute, but I also don't see myself reading them again. I think when I did read them originally, I mostly listened to them on audiobook. Worn, A People's History of Clothing by Sophie Thanhauser. Sea Prayer by Khalid Hosseini. Kindred by Octavia Butler. This is the graphic novel version. Both these books are by the same author, Jane Harper, and that's Force of Nature and The Dry. I really love these. Once again, I listened to these on audiobook, and I just don't really think I'm going to reread them anytime soon. I could see myself rereading these, but probably not for another like 5-10 years, and I don't need to hold on to them for that long. Then we have One by One by Ruth Ware, Black Fortunes by Shamari Wills, Sweet Thursday by John Steinbeck. Last but not least, we have another Nina Lima book, and this one's The Little Mermaid, illustrated by Nina Lima by Hans Christian Andersen. So we made it through. Those are all the 100+ books that I am going to be unhauling. At some point over the next few weeks, I will be making an appointment to take these to one of my local used bookstores to see if they want to buy any of these from me. But if there's anything that you've seen that you feel like I should maybe give a second chance and keep on my shelves, let me know. I'm probably not going to, but I would be interested to know if there's any that you guys think I am making a mistake with getting rid of. But that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all your support, and I'll see you very soon.